Hello, everybody.
And then in the courtroom is Mr. Alec Bergen, 404600738. This is a return on 1077 evaluation, and after the court does that, we're going to ask the court to accept a plea.
Have the parties had a chance to review the evaluation?
Yes.
Does either party take exception to the court adopting the opinion that Mr. Bergen is able to proceed?
No.
No.
I am going to make that finding then. As such, the case may proceed.
And Your Honor, in this matter, we are asking the court to accept a plea of guilty to both a criminal trespass and malicious mischief. And this is a request to enter into a deferred sentence. I did go over the plea paperwork with Mr. Bergen, went over the rights at arraignment, went over the went over the rights that he is giving up by pleading guilty, went over any immigration consequences that he may face as a result of being convicted of this charge, went over the conditions that he would have to abide by if the court were to grant the deferred sentence, or also discussed with him the possibility that the court could not grant the deferred sentence and just sentence him on this case. And I believe he's making no involuntary intelligent decision to plead guilty at this time, so we are asking the court to accept the plea.
And it was Eva Baker, right?
So as a doctor, yes, I believe so.
So Mr. Bergen, I have a document here entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Towards the bottom of it, on the line that says defendant's signature, it's blank. Have you not signed this document yet just because you have no way to sign it?
I believe that's correct.
If you had had a way to sign it, would you have signed it?
I'm still a little like, I don't know. It's one of those things where like I haven't really had much time to think about it. I think I'm good to sign it, but I guess I'm having a little bit of concern right now.
You want to talk to Mr. Iannotti for a little bit?
Is that
Yes,
acceptable?
we'll go back into a breakout room and talk again.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine. You're gonna just click join when you see it. And he should be coming back in a moment. You're gonna need to, yep, there you go. And I believe I answered all of his questions, and we are asking the court to proceed with the plea.
Ms. Bergen, are you ready to move forward now? Did you have all your questions answered?
I believe so, yes, thank you.
Okay, as I read, if you had had a way to sign this document, would you have signed it?
Yes,
SCORE will give you a chance to sign it after this hearing. Do you promise to sign it at that time?
I do promise to sign the document.
When you reviewed this form with Mr. Iannotti, did he read it to you? Did you read it by yourself, or did you read it together?
Together.
And was he able to answer any questions that you had?
Yes.
As I review this form with you, please stop me at any time if you'd like to ask him another question.
Okay,
Is your true and correct name Alec J. Bergen?
that's correct.
And you're 30 years old and have completed more than the 12th grade?
That's correct.
You're pleading guilty to 2 crimes today: criminal trespass in the 1st degree and malicious mischief in the 3rd degree. Do you understand the elements of those crimes? In other words, what the city would have to prove if you were to take this case to trial?
I don't necessarily know the elements of the case.
It's what we went over earlier, but if I can go over it again, it's elements are like what the facts of the case are that make the crime.
Like time, place, and was intent important?
So on the criminal trespass, it's entering or remaining unlawfully in a property.
Okay.
The malicious mischief is causing physical damage to the maliciously or intentionally causing physical damage to the property of another.
That's why with the intent, I don't like with the mental health aspect of it, I'm not sure if that's I guess, you know, I do want to get out of here, and risking another month in here is a little too much. Let's just keep going.
The fact that you want to get out is not I can't accept a plea based on that.
Oh, I mean, it's fine. I'll plead guilty to it. I don't believe it was intentional, but I think I will plead guilty to this.
I can meet with him, Your Honor.
You want to discuss an Alfred plea?
I can. All right. So I'm gonna send you another invitation, Mr. Bergen. I think we're ready. And we are just asking to proceed as is. Your Honor, I did go over all the different options with Mr. Bergen. And it sounds like this is what he would like to do. So we are asking the court to accept the plea as is.
Okay, so I'll pick up where I left off. Do you understand the elements of these crimes? In other words, what the city would have to prove if you were to take this case to trial?
I do.
By entering into this plea, you're giving up a number of very important constitutional rights. Among these are the right to a speedy and public trial, to remain silent during that trial, or to choose to testify, to see, hear, and question witnesses who would testify against you, to have witnesses testify on your behalf at no expense to you, to the presumption of innocence unless and until a jury were to find you guilty, and to appeal a finding of guilt. Do you understand you're giving up all those rights?
I do understand.
Both of these charges, criminal trespass in the first degree and malicious mischief in the third degree, are gross misdemeanors punishable by up to 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. Is that your understanding?
$5,000 fine each, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Do you understand that?
I do.
And I know your attorney and the city attorney have an agreed recommendation for a deferred sentence, but the court does not have to follow that and can sentence you anywhere up to the maximum, including running them consecutive to each other for almost 2 years in custody. Is that your understanding?
Yes,
Do you understand in the event you're not a citizen, a guilty finding on either of these charges may be grounds for deportation, denial of naturalization, or exclusion from the United States?
I do understand this.
Did anyone make any promises to you to get you to enter into these pleas?
There were no promises made, no.
Did anyone make any threats to get you to enter into the pleas?
No threats were made.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
I am doing this on my own free will.
In paragraph 11, there's a statement that reads, on November 17th, 2024 in SeaTac, Washington, at the SeaTac Airport, Port of Seattle, I knowingly entered and remained in the airport without lawful authority to be there. And on the same date and place, I maliciously damaged another's property without permission to do so. I know your attorney wrote that statement, but do you adopt it as your own statement?
I will adopt that statement as my own.
Is it a true statement?
It is a true statement.
As to the crime of criminal trespass in the first degree, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
As to the crime of malicious mischief in the third degree, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
I will accept the pleas. I do believe they're knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently made, and there's a factual basis to support them. Ms. Chinweller, anything to add to the sentencing recommendation?
An agreed recommendation for 24-month deferred sentence, including mental health evaluation and treatment and restitution reserved.
Mr. Inati?
Your Honor, this is an agreed recommendation. Mr. Bergen does have, it sounds like he's made some connections there at the jail and has housing set up for the next 6 months. The city made an offer that I don't think I'm going to violate the plea. They made an offer that was didn't involve any kind of probation with the court or besides law-abiding behavior. And Mr. Bergen was hoping to get his life on track and do certain things to get the benefit of a deferred sentence, and that included getting the mental health evaluation and complying with it, which he believes that he could benefit from. And so he is hoping that the court would give him a deferred sentence. And I did go over the Community Resource Center with him as well as a resource to get access to the mental health evaluation. But it sounds like he is engaged with a program right now that's helping him kind of get connected to these services.
Ms. Birkin, is there anything you'd like to say?
I do not believe so. I guess I would like to emphasize that looking forward, and I'm very eager to get my life together. I'm going to be working with LEAD and telecare, telehealth, for the next 6 months in housing, and then hopefully a transitional housing be housed after that.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that you were able to take advantage of resources while you're at SCORE. I am going to follow the agreed recommendation. I do think it's appropriate. I'm going to defer sentence for 24 months on both counts. Do you receive government benefits?
I do. Just cash benefits that are food benefits.
Sentence will be deferred for a period of 24 months on both counts. I'm further finding that that you're indigent by virtue of the fact you receive government benefits. I'm not imposing any fines, fees, costs, or assessments other than restitution, which I'll leave open for 180 days. So if the city receives information, they can request a hearing at that time. For the next 24 months, you need to abide by the following conditions. attend any future court appearances, have no new criminal law violations, have no contact with SeaTac International Airport or the rental car facility except for valid travel purposes. So unless you have a ticket to fly somewhere or rental car contract, you cannot be there. Update your address with the court and DOL immediately if there are any changes. And do you know where you'll be living? Do you
So
have-
Stephanie said that by the end of the today, she'll have an address for me.
Okay, so when you know that, please call the court and update it.
Call the court, okay.
Within 60 days, obtain a mental health evaluation, and within 90 days, begin any recommended treatment and file proof of all of that with the court.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you very much. I wish you well. I hope that that the housing and treatment, turn things around for you.
Thank you. I appreciate your sentiments.
Okay, you can let the guard know you're done. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I love you so much, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate every one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.